And of course, I've been in the tech business a long time, and that means you have to have a 2x2 matrix, right? So I thought about it. I said, well, there's really one axis is clearly technical, right? There are end users who really just don't want to know how this stuff works. They just want to do something fun on a Saturday morning, right? And that's clearly the bottom side of this graph. And likewise, if you're a volunteer organization or a nonprofit, and really you don't have any techies, you don't have any IT people or anything. You just have like, hey, I'm organizing my church group, my neighborhood association, whatever it is. In fact, I'm going to put my neighborhood block on this in a second. These guys, they don't want to deal with the technology. They're also down here. And I'm sorry if it's a little conflated. Some of these things down there are for end users like Facebook, and Catalista is a mobile application that runs on Android phones. And I'm hoping to get an iPhone application soon enough. And Gmail, of course, is used by all sorts of people, both technical and non-technical. And publishing listings is something that obviously is a publishing sort of side thing, and users often don't publish listings, but they consume them. And then all for good at site. The site itself, as you can see, is just one little piece of this whole big puzzle. And what's great is, as a truly open platform, we don't really have to care which you use. Use any of these. It doesn't matter. We're successful if people are doing this. And then as you go up a little bit, if you're a website publisher, there's oftentimes easier tools than rolling your own HTML and JavaScript and trying to wire things together. And generally speaking, the most popular platforms are blogging sites and blogging platforms like Typepad and Blogger and so on. And we fully support all these. There's little plugins you can just put right in. And there's actually many different formats, and you can skin them, and we'll talk about that. And as you go to the top, and there's only a handful of people in the audience who might even care, but what's powerful about building your own apps and modifying the core engine is that your impact is outrageous because it affects everybody, right? And that's, of course, why it's so much fun to be a developer. I write one line of code, and all of a sudden, 50 different organizations use it, and they get in front of 50,000 people, and so on. You get this enormous scale. So I thought I would go through a couple of these, and to sort of key it out so you can go back to your BlackBerries or whatever. Well, if it's not appropriate, I put the diagram in the lower left corner. And so the first thing, of course, is the site. Everyone always focuses on the website. And I'll run a demo in a second. The key thing is you can search on keywords, location, and time. And it's not, frankly, that exciting because it's just a plain old search engine like Google. Everyone's used to this kind of stuff. You click, 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 and it kind of sort of works. And then we've added a little bit of social features just to sort of show people kind of what can be done, in that you can indicate that you like a listing as a user, and then share that listing that you liked with your friends on Facebook and on open social platforms like Google's and Twitter and Bebo, and I've lost track of it all. People just keep adding new ones.
MySpace.
MySpace. I've lost count. So without further ado, let's get a let's bring up the demo. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, so this is the home page, and I'm actually already signed in. In the upper right corner is a little sign-in bar, and you can sign in using either Facebook or OpenSocial if you have a Google account, like for Gmail or something. You sign in using that. Either way, we don't really care. This is not a site where you have to create a new account. This is sort of best practices now, is that not asking people to create yet another account on the web. Just use your Facebook account, that's fine. And conveniently enough, when you do that, it makes it very easy for us to then, send these listings that you like to your friends, because that's what Facebook Connect is all about. And we're really excited about it. It's worked out great.
I had to set the location. Normally what happens for 80-something% of the users, I actually don't know the exact number, it actually just guesses where you are. And it does so because of IP addresses and so on. There's no real privacy issue. It definitely does it down to like the city area. And just runs a search on the database and just pulls up some listings. And we're going to try it. We have no idea if this is going to engage users or not. We'll know because we'll see them clicking on it or not. And we figured, let's just try it. And in fact, one of the things that's really exciting about this project is we get to just try things as engineers and see if they work. And so this is one of the experiments. Let's just run a search around the homepage and see if people engage with it. Likewise, people often don't know what's inside of a database. So we thought it would be smart to actually give some examples of things that are inside the database. And let's see if it works.
Adam, you know what's also interesting about this results?
Sorry.
Is you see all the different data partners that you have up.
Yes, I should have mentioned that, yeah.
So can we talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for pointing that out.
The way we do this is we actually get listings in from other providers. People right now don't provide us listings directly. They go to Volunteer Match, they go to serve.gov, they go to all these other partners and actually provide the listings. And then we just simply aggregate it and show it. It's a little like Google News or other kinds of aggregator sites like Dig and Reddit and so on. And that's kind of the idea here as well. And then they get traffic back to their sites. That's their incentive to give us their listings. And if I run a search on education, what you should get is listings near Berkeley, give or take, on education. And ranking is a bit of a black art here because you're now trying to rank not only on the keyword education and things that are generally related to education, but also time. So you want things that are reasonably near in the future. Hopefully the algorithms are working. And you can see there's still, well, we have a bunch in 2010. I hope we have more coming in there nearby. And geographically near. And you have to kind of balance what's more important, geography, time, and relevance. Okay? And we're constantly tuning these algorithms. It's no different than anything else at Google. And you can search on, of course, by time as well.
Just to point out, as Adam was saying before, this site is drawing upon all these different organizations. They're either running directly nonprofit activities, like, for example...
Oh, I just switched to a video, but anyway.
Okay, that's fine. Like, for example, well, I don't see any up there, but you see Idealist, Volunteer Match. It draws from the nonprofits running those activities or from other aggregators. So think about All for Good as a platform. Not a destination site that competes with those, but rather, with one click right off the front page, you could find yourself on Volunteer Match. You could find yourself on volunteer.org, or you could find yourself on the local hands-on chapter that's organizing a food bank. So again, how could we accelerate people into service to work with the existing providers, not to compete with them?
And they're the experts in fulfilling those volunteer opportunities. So we just want to get more people to them so that they can have a great volunteering experience.
So I thought I would demo the ability to like something. And if this looks familiar, it's because it's coming from Facebook Connect. And you like it, then in one shot you can just tell your friends, hey, by the way, here's this interesting thing. I don't know how many people here cut and paste URLs all day long. I have to do that. This is so much easier, right? I just turn right around and say, oh, this is cool, boom, and out it goes.
And this will show up in Adam's newsfeed on Facebook.
Yeah.
When you hit publish.
Well, here we go. Hopefully it will. Okay, there it is. So,
Do you want to pull up your newsfeed?
Sure.
So while we're doing that, okay, just to talk about the principle
Hopefully
behind
nobody
it.
else is saying anything wacky on my
Yeah,
newsfeed.
exactly.
I have no idea.
Where's Randy? We need to make sure this is going to happen.
But one of the things that we learned in talking to nonprofits is very often people don't initially intrinsically feel passionate about an issue. But you often will participate in the AIDS ride, or you'll go adopt a pet, or you'll go walk the Avon breast cancer because someone you know is affected by a disease, someone you respect is involved with a cause. So sharing and being social with the things you care about is a big part of how we bring people to serve. And that was a core principle behind this specific set of features.
So I thought I would also show. So, okay. So, great. Let me go back to the presentation for a second here, and here we go. Okay. So, because the consumer site, one of the things I want to emphasize is that this stuff is changing constantly. I mean, literally every day, the consumer experience and so on. If you've ever been an early adopter or beta tester on a Google product, and all of us who actually work for the company are, you know that you log in and you have no idea what it's going to be like. So it's going to be pretty volatile for the next couple of weeks. And we're going to keep adding things and so on. The blue will probably stay the same, but I don't know about the rest of it. So I don't want to spend too much time on a consumer website because it's actually not, again, it's not really the thrust of it. It's there because you need to have it, but really the thrust is about all the other ways that this stuff can be used. And I wanted to focus on some of that. Without further ado, if you're part of a volunteer organization of some kind, including just a neighborhood park cleanup effort, beach cleanup effort in Santa Cruz, whatever, to you, All for Good is a way of just getting free traffic. And free traffic is a fancy way of saying, statistically speaking, more people actually volunteering. Because again, now not the number of people going to allforgood.org, but all the other different applications that happen to use All for Good's database.